happy
Y'all.
Memorial Day.
How you doing, y'all?
So we are live. It's Memorial Day, and yes, we decided to do a show today. Our last show was Mother's Day.
We've been a little busy, a little travel, a little thing, and I'm gonna have to throw this back in the
Anyway.
corn.
All right, so we decided to do a couple little things for today's broadcast on just some things that we would cook on Memorial Day, talk about Memorial Day a little bit, all right, and just share some great things that happen around this holiday, which has a significant meaning, and I think most people get confused on its meaning. So in November every year we have Veterans Day. And
Yep.
veterans are a way that we actually thank those people who have served for us in the services. And then here every year in May we have Memorial Day. Memorial Day is set for the memory of those who lost their lives for our country, not just a veteran. These are veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice, their lives, for us to be able to live in the freedom that we live. And I like to say it's so Gladys and I can live in different opinions on what you should drink. That's why they died. No.
Right. And the earliest recording was of 1860, following the Civil War, but
Okay.
it didn't officially become a holiday till 1971, and it is a federal holiday.
It is.
So anything federal, including banks, are closed on today. And it always falls on the last Monday of May. So the actual date, of course, changes every year.
Mm-hmm.
As you had said, it's it's a somber day to honor those that have passed. So and so different people will commemorate it different ways. I know that as I was driving to the store this morning, there is this one area that's part of Parks and Rec. And they have a mailbox there that you can drop off whatever has happened to a flag. So they did have some veterans there in full garb that were there. There's also the Korean War Memorial that's there. So they were talking to various people. So some people will go there that's their way of honoring those that have passed, possibly that they knew or in their family. So it really is supposed to be a day to pause and reflect, not just a day to barbecue.
Yes.
Which, with a lot of people not understanding it's just let's go barbecue.
And I think it's hard in America with all the holidays we have as to what holidays are what, and sometimes we get caught up into, what the food or the drink is of that holiday. And I know that's what our podcast is about, but I really wanted to take a moment on this one here because this. You know what I mean? I know people who gave their lives for our country. You know what I mean? That they're not with us anymore because they were serving in some capacity. So while we were here having food and drink and it's the things we do on this day, please really significantly remember those who gave their lives so that you and I can sit in freedom. Yeah. And in many cases, I like to say, whenever you disagree with someone, all right, and you both have the freedom to have that opinion, that's when you really should thank that person who gave their life, because that's the truth about America is that, and I love to use it on here, is Gladys and I have two different opinions on how barbecue shots should be done, and probably two different opinions on what we should drink, but we're free to have a show in this country doing this because of the fact that people gave their lives. So thank you for those.
One of the things that some might not know or may not have seen is the flag. So a lot of people just bring out the flag. Technically, the flag should be flown at half mast until noon, and then raised all the way to the top for the remainder of the day.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that was something that I learned. So thank you, the pioneer woman, for sharing that information. But they're in different cities, different governments will have different celebratory things going on throughout the day. So it's all about remembrance, and it's all about respect. So we always want to show respect for others. That's so important, and sometimes we forget that it's that just in general respect each other. And then right now it's just really. So,
So I thought we would do, because we do food and drink here, is the foods I like to do is I like to really think old school. Every food I have here today is a finger food that is messy.
I was going to say finger food sounds kind of messy. When you do finger foods, most of your finger foods are not the dainty kind. It's let me get dirty and make a mess of my desk.
And yeah, it's on my desk, and I'm going to have to click the mouse, or I'm going to have to, adjust the microphone. So I'm going to have to wipe my hands off at some point in time after touching the food. All right. But I have all kind of finger foods that I would make. First of all, starting with my ribs. All right. I started cooking these at 1:00 this afternoon. All right. And that is one of the ribs that I have from here today. I have some wings. Basically, I buy these wings and I cook them on the grill. So and I have two different recipes on them. Actually, turned two into three. This one here was done with barbecue sauce. This was done with your buffalo sauce.
Oh yeah.
And then I have one here that was buffalo sauce that I put my barbecue sauce on.
Oh, fun.
So
and y'all, for when it comes to wings, making the sauce is actually very easy. What you could do is you can bake your wings, with the dry rub, and then your sauce. It's essentially butter on the stove with whatever hot sauce you want to use. It could be barbecue sauce. It could be like a teriyaki sauce. It could be a hot sauce like you can use any of your hot sauces that are in your fridge, Cholula or the Red Hot or Tapatio, whatever you want. And you just add that to the butter, and then you toss your wings in that butter. And that's the sauce. Super easy to make.
Mine, I bought them from the store with the sauce. They have a prepped with sauce on them at the store. And I literally let them soak in the sauce and just put them on the grill and fire grill it.
Nice.
The other thing we got is I always have, when I'm doing any smoking, I buy a ring of like kibasi or sausage. And the last hour of smoking, I throw that ring on the very top shelf in my smoker. And actually it's something I do. And tonight I have a Texas beef brisket sausage.
Okay. Oh.
All right. And then I have my corn on the cob. And for drink tonight, I have some Corona.
Of course.
As beer. Second thing I kind of have here tonight is I have it here just in case I feel like I'm going to do a little bit of moonshine.
Okay.
That is nothing more American than that. And then we go with the American bourbon, Buffalo Trace, which is I just pull a fresh bottle out here tonight.
Nice. I need to buy a new bottle. I do have still, I think, some at the office. I don't have anything here at home.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do the moonshine and the Corona tonight because moonshine really is an American. Well, bourbon is American.
Yeah.
Truthfully, if you think about it.
So I made ribs. This time it was the sauce that I use. Usually it's supposed to be like that's what I forgot. Darn it. A hickory smoked with another barbecue, like original barbecue and a hickory smoked. So you get that smokiness in there. I had a Korean barbecue, which I used, or a Korean. Yeah, it is actual barbecue sauce, but it's got some of the Korean seasonings. I then added soy sauce, honey, and water, and then cooked them stovetop in the sauce. Then they were already cut into 3 portions, and then I threw them. Normally, I would do barbecue, like the actual barbecue, but it's raining this afternoon here in Portland. So instead of throwing it on the barbecue, I threw them in the broiler. Not the same char, because I usually like that barbecue char. This one's a little different. Of course, I have my Mexican street corn, which I did also in the broiler. And now I have the husk of the corn all burnt at the bottom of my oven. So I'm going to have to clean that out. And then a macaroni salad. So that is what I have for food. Now for drink, yesterday as We were at we call them the food carts that are in Oregon City. There's an Oregon City Brewing is there in Canby. They are out of Oregon City, but this particular one is in Canby. And then they have food carts, so the little pods where you can buy the food and then get your beer. Right. And they have what is a growler, because I said, oh, you can have it to go. I was thinking like a 12 ounce or a 16 ounce. Oh, no, 32 ounce growler. So
wow.
I have the all beer you can drink. And what is in here, because you can get almost anything in here. This is the Here Comes the Boom. It's the American Amber Ale. So what they had suggested was a lighter, like a Mexican lager, if my barbecues were going to be spicy. I didn't think they were going to be spicy because I normally don't make them spicy, and you want something light and refreshing to contrast the spiciness and still allow the flavors of the barbecue, because the whole point is your ribs is your barbecue, not the beer. But I wanted something a little bit more, so that's why this one is the Boom. I think it's like 7.2 alcohol by volume. They didn't write it here. I thought they would, because I let them do their thing. They were busy, and I kept chit-chatting and eating. And I'll open it in a minute. But here's the beer ownership flowchart. It says, does this beer belong to you? If yes, what are you waiting for? And if it's no, then it's put it down and back away slowly. So that is the it says, please follow carefully. Neglecting chart could result in the wrath of God. So make sure you follow the flow chart. If it is not yours, put it down, walk away slowly. But if it is yours, what are you waiting for? So I'm reading that for the first time. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was cute. But Oregon City Brewing, they do have good beer. And today I get to try the Here Comes the Boom. So I'm going to try it out and see what it looks like. And I decided I am going to use a mason jar.
Okay.
Something about drinking beer out of a mason jar makes it kind of fun. I was made fun of for a while with me and my mason jars, but I do like using mason jars for a lot of things. Look at that gorgeous amber color.
Oh, wow.
That is beautiful. I'm going to see if I can get a picture of the food and drink all together. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. We're going to do our very best. I think I got a decent picture. This one I haven't tasted, so I will be tasting for the first time. And I do need to find a little, oh, here we go. That's the only thing with the mason jars. You got to find the right spot to drink out of it so that you don't have that little ridge right there.
Uh-huh.
But it's got good flavor to it. It's that depth in there. There's a certain level of almost like a dark chocolate. You know how it has that little bit of bitterness that you can
the cocoa espresso, I like to call it.
Okay, so I am tasting that in here, which is not what I was expecting. But this is like one gorgeous color. Yeah. It almost looks like a light coffee, like when you've made coffee that's a little bit too light.
Is it a stout or is it a?
No, it's an amber.
An amber? Okay.
It is an amber. So I'm going to dig into here, this ribs. They took about an hour and a half to cook to get nice and tender.
So my ribs, I started at 1 p.m. today. I got a smoker up to 225 degrees. Prepped my ribs with a new rub. Put them in there for 3 hours. Then I pulled them off and wrapped them. Cooked them for another hour. Unwrapped them. Put some sauce onto them. Cooked them again. In the meantime, I'm watching the grill or watching the smoker all day, trying to keep it at that right even temperature.
Right.
And I did it while I mowed the lawn. I was able to mow the lawn, 2 sections of my 3 sections of the lawn. Uh-huh. I stopped on the second section and figured, okay, I'm going to do some work on the grill, or I'm going to keep an eye onto it. And I never got to the 3rd section. And then as I was putting the sauce on, I bring them to the kitchen in the house. I put the sauce on to take them back out. We got a downpour here.
Oh,
So I have to walk them through a downpour to get back out to the grill. So we've got different trays out. We've dirtied more dishes by getting different trays out, and I put them down the trays, and I put the flat tray on top of it so that I can carry it out without getting wet. Anyway, that was my afternoon, and finished them up in the pouring rain. So, but
well, unlike me, my barbecue can go under the rafter, but it is not quite up against the wall, but it is right there.
yeah,
The front of it is, if I open the lid, it's going to pull out and it's going to still get wet. So I don't have a cover unless I pull out the umbrella. And the umbrella is not a waterproof umbrella. It's just a sun umbrella. So I was like going, I'm not going to try to. And it got really downpour-ish. So I'm like, it's not like it was a drizzle. I'm like, throw it in the oven. So again, on my corn, it's butter, mayo, lime juice, Parmesan cheese, and tahini.
mine's just salt. Salt. That's all I put onto it. Salt, and no butter. Sprinkled some salt onto it and cooked in it.
I will say, when I was in Maui, their corn was so sweet. You didn't even have to cook it. You could just eat it right off the cob.
Oh no.
Nothing needed. I mean, that flavor of corn. So
Anyway,
lime is really coming through on my corn this time. It doesn't always do that. This time the corn said, I'm sucking up that lime. There's something about a smothered corn that's just delicious.
No, I'm not going to deny it, and I'm going to say truthfully, there's a million ways you can do corn, and none of them are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I will say a lot of things like you know, there's a lot of things that you want to have at a barbecue. The one thing I like to have on almost everyone is corn on the cob.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sometimes I want, you know, your potato salad. Sometimes I want coleslaw. Sometimes I want ribs. For the most part, over the past couple of years on Memorial Day, we've done like hamburgers, hot dogs type thing, right? Which is like standard tradition. Throw it on the grill, hamburgers and hot dogs. And I know next month, like with Father's Day coming up, I know Father's Day almost always I cook something on the smoker for Father's Day. You know, it's just that's what I chose to do this year. You know, but for the most part, I really love, you know, a good old fashioned hamburger, throw it on a bun, some onions, some lettuce, tomato, things, all that stuff to it. But everything I have here, all right, other than like I have a little bit of sauce to be dipping it in, right?
Okay.
Like I don't have to add a million things to it. You know what I mean? I'll dip it in my sauce, and then it is my sauce. So I made my sauce, and it came out a little hotter today, and I don't know what I did wrong. But I'm like, okay, how do I neutralize that? So I was trying to neutralize my spice, which if you guys don't know, I actually put cinnamon bourbon or cinnamon whiskey in my sauce. So I figured I know what I can do that'll neutralize it.
Moonshine.
I put a little bit of moonshine into it, neutralize it.
There you go. I love it. Well,
That took a little bit of the bite away, the spice, but the spice is still there. So my sauce is a little spicy this time, and I don't know. I must have mixed up an ingredient.
Maybe did you put a cayenne in there that you normally don't put, like a cayenne pepper or like the powder?
No, the only thing spicy that I put into it is sriracha. And I think I may have added a little more. I think there's a little more sriracha than I normally do. Okay. Or I was using the molasses I use. I finished off a jar of molasses. So I may not have put the right amount of molasses in.
Right. So, I was going to say, because I think you needed like something honey-esque, but molasses would be the way to go. I know. It just depends on your preference.
Well, I double sweeten it too, though, is I have brown sugar and honey in it.
Okay.
And there's the other thing is I might not have added enough honey.
Mm.
I know the brown sugar, because the brown sugar is two tablespoons, and that's a almost always a quick measure. That's almost like the first thing I throw into the pot is because that's the one container I want to seal right back up. I don't want the brown sugar to get hard, so I literally open up, take my 2 spoons out, and seal it back up right away.
Well, if you do have brown sugar in a jar, because I usually will put it in a mason jar.
Yeah.
If it does get hard, what I do is that I put the whole jar in a pot with hot water, and it essentially rehydrates.
Really?
Yes. So you will go from rock hard brown sugar to soft sugar just by putting the whole jar into the hot water.
Okay.
Because it almost like does this because it heats everything up. It's almost like it remoisturizes it, and it just makes it soft.
Wow.
Which is nice, and it doesn't melt it or anything. You don't want boiling water; you want hot water, and that has worked for me. And closed and all, it doesn't have to be open. It's just the whole jar closed, lid and all. Put it in there. It does have to be a glass, because if you have anything else, it's gonna melt. You don't want it in a bag or paper or anything like that.
Well, I mean, there's another thing is, and I think I sent some to you once, and it was tough for me to send my sauce because I only put my sauce in glass jars. I put it in a plastic container one time, and it just I'm like, it really messed the taste up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bet we have at least a dozen mason jars, from pints to quarts here, and I almost always I always store my sauce back in a mason jar. Usually I can get 2 sets of ribs out of one batch of sauce.
Okay.
So, and a lot of people love my sauce, and believe it or not, even Famous Dave thought I had a great sauce.
Nice.
So, and I know Famous Dave's had my sauce. Craig, who put us both together, Craig's had my sauce. Thought it was fabulous. Last year, our networking group, we did a before that chapter dissolved, we did a rib cook-off. We have 3 members of our group who love to do ribs, and unfortunately, one of them like a couple days before had to bow out because he had a funeral he had to go to, so he couldn't cook. But me and the other member, we did our ribs, and the other guy who I was competing against, he does like competition ribs, and I did mine are just my ribs, right? I don't do competition of anything. I won for flavor. Everybody loved mine because of flavor. His structure wise, his looked, I mean, he didn't have the bark I have. He had a lighter bark, but his was solidly together. All right. It came off the bone almost entirely, would fall off the bone. All right. It didn't have a bark onto it, but it had a good flavor. Like, it had a competition flavor, but it didn't have the bark that mine has. And my bark comes from that last half hour of sauce and cook.
Got it. Okay.
And that's the only reason why I have the bark, is I put a sauce onto it and I cook that open flame.
Okay.
For at least a half hour.
And I have done that before, where I do that. A lot of times I just throw a little bit of sauce on it after it's already been cooked. And it's warm, so it's not like it's cold sauce. It's a warm sauce. I've already heated it through with what was left from the sauce where everything cooked. So it's got the juices from the ribs. And so when you heat that and you reduce it, becomes a little bit thicker, but it's got all the flavors, not only of the barbecue sauce, but also the juices from the ribs. Yeah. And it just tastes really good. And you mop that on top after you've barbecued, because it's a flash barbecue. It's just enough to give it a little bit of a char, give it that flavor. And what I was going to do in this one, which I forgot, was add liquid smoke. And the liquid smoke will give it that smokiness without having to actually smoke it if you don't have a smoker. Now, it's not going to be the same. Absolutely not.
It's not the same, because I'm telling you right now, all right, I still smell it.
On your clothes.
It's on my clothes, and it's going to be on my clothes in my hair until I go to bed tonight. It is. It's just, that's part of the art. But today I usually there's many days, like, doing ribs, I can come in and out. I don't have to sit there. But like I've done like the turkey and the ham where I basically am,
Right.
I take stuff out to the garage to sit in my chair and watch, because there's
It's kind of
no,
fun. It's kind of fun to
it's
do
part of
that.
my day to sit there
Yeah.
and cook. One of these days, I'm going to make it so like it's a real garage, and I'm going to have a TV that I can sit in the garage and watch TV, and right outside the garage is the smoker, and I can walk out and tend to things and go back inside, sit on the couch in my garage on the TV. And anyway,
There you go. It's been fun, but yeah,
if I do that, my wife's going to move my office to the garage, and she's going to take over this and make this her music room. So I got to watch how I say that.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Just stick out the tablet, stick the tablet right there on it. But
Anyway.
what do you all like? One of the things I was thinking of doing is coleslaw, but I feel like coleslaw. So macaroni salad, it was this time to switch it up. You can do salad, you can do grilled veggies. There is so much that you can do on barbecue, or that you can pair with barbecue. And barbecue can mean so much to so many different people. I mean, barbecue can be steak, barbecue can be burgers and dogs, it can be ribs. It can be really anything you want it to be. Make it your own.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy it. You got to have fun with it. You got to want to have it and spend the time doing it, even if it's something quick. Of course, ribs take longer than, burgers and dogs, but it all depends on who's your audience. If you're going to have kiddos, burgers and dogs is probably the way to go. But if there are no kiddos, then maybe steaks or rib might be the way to go.
Well, I'm going to give you so most of the listeners know that many people think my ribs and my sauce are great, but I'm going to tell you about the first time I ever did ribs.
Okay.
My wife, I never studied the slow cook method or anything like that. My wife said, all right, I need you to put these ribs on the grill, slow cook them. All right. And what you're going to do is you're going to add, add a little bit of water in there. And I half listened to what she said. I really didn't listen. I fired the grill up like I do on burgers.
Right.
I put the ribs on the grill.
Charred them.
And I left and went to, I left on my motorcycle to go look at something, 30 minutes away and come back. Before I got back, I got a text from my wife. Hey, where are you? I'm like, well, I ran down because I'm looking for something. And anyway, I'll be back shortly. Well, by the time I got back, I found out that basically the guy that my son Ruben was dating at the time, he came down and he looked and he goes, "What are you guys cooking out there?" And he texted Glenn because he says, "It's a
burning
pile of ashes." So Glenn felt bad and went out and bought another set of ribs and came back and she put them on and forgot something came up, turn them into ashes. The way that I really learned about what slow cook matters, and that is because when we got our one bedroom condo, and I know you and I started doing this show after I moved out of the one bedroom condo. When we were there, one of the things we had was a small slow cooker, and we would grab a rack of ribs, we would cut them up, put the seasoning onto them, just set them in there. All right. Put a lid on it, turn it on slow and leave it cook all day long.
Right.
And I mean, oh my God, the house smelled so good.
Yes.
That made me go, okay, there's got to be ways to learn about ribs. And that's where I started learning about the slow cooking and the smoking. And for years I did it at the condo. I didn't have a smoker. I only had a grill. So I would do them between the grill and the oven, and I would actually buy chips. I would put the chips inside there. I made a tray inside my grill that they would go in and smoke and give it the flavor. And I did them on
have this little contraption where you put the chips inside of it. It's this cylinder thing.
Yes.
You light that and then you put it into the barbecue and it does the smoking. Now I've not used it just yet because I forgot about it last year, and I found it like this last week and I went, oh, I have to use this. Check it out, see how it works. But I do have to buy the chips for it. But we'll see how it works. But it's supposed to give you that additional flavor. So I'm like, well, can I just stick my old fashioned in the barbecue off, of course, have the barbecue off, put the container in there in the barbecue with the old fashioned and see if that works, smoke my old fashioned,
Oh no,
because
Gwen got me for Christmas last year or the year before an old fashioned smoking kit. And I just have yet to do it.
Yeah, I want to get one. I haven't gotten it yet. I will. But for now, I just want to experiment. It's about the experimentation and trying something different. I'm kind of giddy over that. It's like
I actually no, because I didn't have that, and I kept looking at that tube thing when I had the grill. Truthfully, I would take aluminum foil and make a boat and put this chips in there. All right. And I literally would spritz them with water. And then basically with the heat, I didn't light them on fire. The heat in there would ignite them.
Okay.
And it really, that's how I ended up cooking them. And then it was a unique way to do it. But it's like you learn, you find ways and you learn.
Yeah.
Right?
Check it out. See what works for you. What doesn't work for you. Try different things. That's kind of the fun part.
Well, that's the whole reason you and I have a show is we try different things.
We do. We try different things when it comes to drinks, and we try different things when it comes to food, the pairing of it. What do we like? What do we not like? What are the things we'll never do again? And what are the things that we will definitely do again, whether on the show or at least, personally when we find what we really like. It's kind of part of the fun.
I will say, if you're having corn, have some freaking moonshine with it.
I don't have any moonshine. Oh no, that's gin. I don't have any moonshine here. All my moonshine is at the office, and so I have no moonshine here. I have gin.
I'm just saying, it pairs really well with this corn on the cob. Oh my!
I was like,
corn liquor,
I thought I did, and it was like, oh no, that's gin and gin. So I got gin. Rye. I got a whistle pig. I'm not opening that. I got a rum. I got multiple bottles of scotch. I have tequila. I got whiskeys and more gin. So
one of the things I stocked up on this weekend while we were at the liquor store. And by the way, at the liquor store, I got like I helped 4 other people find their bourbons, and
love it.
But I was like, man, I'm out of rye. I don't have a rye on my shelf.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think? Which rye do you think I bought?
Bullet rye.
I didn't buy Bullet. I'm not a fan of Bullet, by the way.
Okay.
But it's okay. Bullet. A lot of people like Bullet. I'm not.
Your Angel's Envy rye.
I got Angel's Envy again.
Yeah.
And I looked at a couple other ones. I was talking to a couple other people in the row there. I said, what they had. You know what I mean? I got a couple different recommendations on ryes, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was so funny. The last time I had this was back, I guess, December, maybe January timeframe. It was a foo-foo, kind of, bougie restaurant, and it's up on a hill, what have you. And so I had ordered the old fashioned, with Angel's Envy rye. And the waiter, he's like, oh, that's like high end, kind of pricey. And it's like, okay, that's what I want. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, So I'm sure he was surprised when I ordered the second one.
Hey, this is one thing I like about Craig. Craig likes Angel's Envy old fashions. And usually, I get a freebie on Craig's tab for my hard work.
Of course.
Thank you, Craig.
As you should. Because you're not getting paid.
I'm always willing to get one for him. So
we'll work for old fashions.
Yeah, we'll work for old fashions. Yes. But usually it's the Angel's Envy ones we get. One of the things I find usually I like to have when I travel is I like to find someplace that does have Buffalo Trace.
Right.
Because if I'm not in the mood for an old fashioned, I'm going to have a Buffalo Trace neat.
Yeah.
So almost always I can't find anybody that carries, Climax Moonshine. I would, if I went to more places when I traveled and they had Climax Moonshine, just give me a single neat. I would probably be in more trouble, but anyway. It is the only thing smoother than Buffalo Trace, which I
Right.
think you've had it. You've had
Yes,
it
I
with
have
me.
it at the office. Yeah, I have American Born and Climax. Both of them are in my shelf at the office.
Two of my,
Yeah.
they're my two favorite right there, American Born and Climax.
Well, that's why I have them, because you're like, these are the ones you're going to get and we're going to have on the podcast. And I went, okay. So I bought both of them. They're there. And actually, I think I've had to replace the Climax ones. The American Born, it's still the same one there. But the Climax, I have gone through that one and I got another bottle. So, and it's not one that I drink that much. I've had it. I mean, it took me a couple of years to get through that one because I don't drink a whole lot of moonshine. I really don't. But we have put it on the podcast, and I have, drank it off the podcast.
When you and I met, that's what I was drinking that morning. I was drinking bourbons back then.
Yeah.
And I remember it because, I mean, for years I've been drinking moonshines. And if you recall, it was close to Climax. There was a special one that I brought you that isn't available in the store.
I know. That's why it was in little jar. And
I had it in a little jar with me.
The back of the conference room.
And I remember because that was the whole thing about us being things that was like, well, you're like, well, I've got this and I've got this. I'm like, here. I said, I've got something I guarantee you haven't had.
True story on that.
Yes, it was. It is very, if you remember taste buds, it is very similar to the taste of the Climax because it was a triple grain moonshine, which Climax American Born is the same way. They're triple grain. All right. Which is, I believe the triple grains into it are, oh God, I'm looking to see if I have it on here, what it is.
And it's hiding. He's going to remember at 2 o'clock in the morning when he wakes up screaming.
No, it is corn number 1, corn, malted barley, and rye.
Okay.
And that's where, I mean, why I never was a rye guy. All right. But you put that the way I've learned to love rye is because most good moonshines, the triple grain moonshines, they have a little bit of rye in them. The key that makes it Climax and what made the one that I had in the woods, it was wasn't the same recipe, but it was the same combination of things. Mm-hmm. And it's pure sugar cane.
Okay.
Pure cane sugar. It's not just domino sugar in it. It's the rye, but the malted barley. That's the hardest thing for them to get. They can get barley, but the malted barley is the tough thing to find. You find a moonshine that's got the malted barley into it.
It's going to be much better.
Yes. Yeah. Most people look at the moonshine for just the corn.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I mean, you can get corn in your bourbon. Truthfully. All right. But you know, to me, and it's unaged is the key behind it is unaged. Whereas your Angels and Ambiola, those are aged. That's why they're brown, because they've been aged in a barrel. So,
and all the colors coming from that barrel being
from the barrel. Yeah. Yep. No.
And
that's where that's where once you learn the tastes from the barrels, that's where I learn what wood to cook my ribs with.
Okay, to see what you enjoyed and liked.
Yeah. The flavor that comes out of wood that goes into the food or into the drink. Yeah. Oh my gosh! And because normally you think wood. Yeah. Okay, I got a wood desk. All right.
Yeah. Nope. Wood is not wood. I mean, wood is wood, but each wood has its.
But wood will put flavors into food. The right wood. Like personally, I've gotten some for these here today, pecan wood. I was never a pecan wood. I always had cherry wood and apple wood. But pecan wood, oh my God! And I remember, I don't know if you were I don't think you were with us one time with Craig's group. We actually were in Fort Worth by his son when his son was going to college out there. There was a barbecue place across from the hotel.
Okay.
And they had a lot of stuff done in pecan wood.
Oh, interesting.
Really, really good. Pecan is a really good sweet wood for food. All right. I don't know as though I would like a moonshine or a whiskey soaked in pecan wood, though.
Yeah, no, that would be a little different, but I haven't tasted it either. I mean, I love pecans, but I think they would be a little overpowering is my thought. But
to me, that's why they use oak. Oak gives the best flavor to a beverage. Not to be my side of the trivia. Oak gives. Yeah.
But I really enjoyed what we had today. Tell us, what do you all like in a barbecue? Because as summer comes along, we might decide to bring other barbecue items to the podcast. And we'd love your ideas, and maybe we'll incorporate some of them.
We should. So anyway. So yeah, I realize we went about 40 minutes today, guys. I know it's a holiday. Many of you guys, our regular listeners aren't really chiming in today. They'll probably watch the replay. Hey, that's okay. We decided to still stick with our Monday.
Yep.
All right. But anyway, so this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Like the Way You Drink, was started by Gladys and I back in 2021, and our businesses pay the bills around here. That's how we're able to do this podcast and keep it. I'm going to say this. I know some people don't like this, and keep it a neutral podcast. So like we could very easily reach out to some major drink places and get drink sponsors, but then they would have to favor their drink. We don't. Yeah. We're independent. And as a matter of fact, this beer company that I met these guys today over the weekend, I said to them, I says, there's some things you'll probably never have on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever had Jack Daniels on here?
No.
Have we ever had Budweiser?
No.
Do you think we ever will?
No.
Very, very no, because we're about taste and finding taste in interesting places. That's what our podcast is about.
Something different, something that, bringing local into, we talk about supporting local. And if we're supporting local, that means local like Oregon and Texas.
Hey, Robert is watching. He's just lurking in the background. Hey, Robert, we appreciate you. Yeah. We know this holiday isn't with you up there in Canada, but we do appreciate you chiming in.
Yeah, appreciate you.
But so anyway, back to this is our business pays the bills. So first of all, I'm going to say go to our page, likethewayyoudrink.com. We're going to actually have a new page up in the next couple of weeks here of Like the Way You Drink. We're actually having a insiders club, a VIP type club, where we basically can work with you and have tastings with you, and you actually give us the feedback. Yes, be 21 to join. It's free to join. You said be 21. Anything we do together will be what you'll have to pay. All right. You don't have to pay anything to join. And it's literally, if we go on an excursion, you have to pay your own way. That's all we do. But you're open to getting the invites. So other than that, our companies pay the bills around here. So Gladys always goes first. We do quick commercials about our business. Please listen in. Please find out people who can help and need our services and refer us. That's what we ask. So Gladys, go ahead.
Well, this is Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design, helping you become employer of choice through employee benefits, because there are 101 different ways that you can show your employees that you care for them. Because when you take care of your employees, they're going to take care of your clients, which means there's going to be retention and referrals coming from that, because happy employees will take care of your clients. So if you want to know how you can do this, go to my calendar, which is at enrollnoworegon.com. Get on my calendar. We'll start the conversation. We can see what would you like to do, and if there's a way that I can help. If I can't help you, I might have a broker in your state that can. That's enrollnoworegon.com. Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. And this is my co-host.
Hey guys, Tim Gillette. And if you noticed, Gladys is very wise. She has two different domain names for her business. One directly goes right to her calendar. The other one goes to her website. I wonder who she learned that from. Simple, easy websites, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, we're in the website business. We're mentoring and helping people in the website business, helping you small business, the entrepreneurs, the solopreneurs get themselves great online. We're there to help you get more leads and make sure your website is generating leads on a regular basis. All right. You want to find out more? SimpleEasyWebsites.com. All right. Book a consultation with us. Love to review and tell you how we can help you find better results. Other than that, next week we're going to do something else fun, aren't we?
We are. Okay. We'll keep y'all posted.
All right. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to say cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
And we'll see you guys next week.